Hello, my name is Marcelo Garzon. I am a classical homeopath and my clinic is in Richmond Hill and the GTA. Today I'm going to talk to you about how homeopathy can cure skin diseases. So before we go and jump into the subject matter, for those that don't know me, I am a classical homeopath. What it means that when I see you with an illness, I'm not looking only at the illness itself, but I'm looking at you as a person that's carrying the illness, right? It's very important for homeopathy to know who the person is that is suffering and who the person was before suffering. The combination of the personality plus the disease itself will bring me to find a remedy that fits you just to basically cure your problem, but also to bring the vitality up as it was before you got sick. So, when I look at the person that comes to me with a disease, I have to look into his mind, what's going on with the person and who the person was before and now. Now, the Ayurvedic philosophy and medicine from India and the Chinese medicine also, thousands of years ago, they understood already that we have to look at the person, his behavior, his character, his mindset in order to find a good cure for him. And today, even the Western medicine started realizing that it's not enough looking into the organ that's affected, but also into the person that is affected by the affected organ. So when we look at the mindset, we all experience a bit of everything, or maybe one we experience more than the other, or maybe we experience, unfortunately, all of the above. So we may find ourselves overworking and rushing over the day and to accomplish goals and dreams and so on. Or we have, experiencing some depression, things work, don't work, or sadness, anxieties and fears for the future and so on. When it's an acute situation, okay, the mind and the body can handle. But when this mindset is more of a chronic situation, of a daily basis, and occupies a large portion of the day, we might find that we eat what we shouldn't eat, or we drink a ton of coffee just we can keep up with what we have to do, and or we sleep late, or we don't sleep enough, and our diet will be affected. Today, we all know in all the therapies known today that the mind and the gut are connected. If one is sick, the other is going to be sick, and vice versa. And we have to treat the gut um, the same way we have to treat the mind, and to make the gut be effective in order to eliminate toxins, and in order to use the nutrients that we need to use. But when we don't have a good digestion, because we either eat too much sugars or any other things we should not eat when we are sick, especially when we are sick. So this bad digestion eventually, and with time, if it becomes too chronic, become a sickness. And that applies not only about skin, and that we are going to talk in a moment, it applies to any sickness in general. Gout can be produced because we don't metabolize well what we eat. Arthritis, the same, we create inflammation, and therefore the digestion, it's a very important factor to consider together with our mindset. Okay, so we covered the background. Now we are going into the skin diseases. As a homeopath, I would like to see the original manifestation of the skin disease. I want to see what is the sensation. Is it burning? Is it itching? Is it painful? What was the cause? We will try to figure out what was the cause or what triggers and when did it start? What was happening in life when all started? Now, the color and discharges are extremely important in homeopathy. And the reason I'm saying that is we have to keep in hygiene to avoid bacteria. Bacteria always will be there. But in homeopathy, we do not recommend to apply any topical substances. We know today that these topical substances may help for a bit, but when you stop applying them, the disease, the manifestation of the skin may come back. And then you have to keep applying these substances into the skin. And the goal of homeopathy is to get to the root cause, deep into why things happen, and to treat it from the root up. Therefore, it's important that when we come to a homeopath, we have the real picture of what the disease looks like. So the discharge, if it has a white color or a yellow, if it's transparent or if it's solid, if it's sticky like glue, all this information is extremely important. Now, if the color of the skin is red or it's brown or it's dark, right? I mean, maybe black color, it's extremely important as well. So after covering a lot of information, now we'll look into remedies as an example. So we have graphite, one of the most famous for skin issues. It has a lot of eruptions and acrid sticky discharges and cracks on the folds of the skin, like the elbow and the knees. The person with graphite also will suffer from constipation and some fatigue. When we talk about rusty, which is a plant, we're talking about skin diseases that may be associated with touching a substance that irritated, created blistering in the skin, and the person is very, although friendly, but is very irritable due to that condition, and it can be very fastidious in this situation. Staphylococcus aureus, another plant, it's for a person that has a lot of grief inside for many years. He doesn't share, he cannot escape his past pain, and is suffering inside and may cause a lot of diseases because his emotions are inside him and it's not sharing. The eruptions can be in the head and in the face for Staphylococcus aureus. Now, Arsenicum album, there we can see anxiety. We need to see anxiety in Arsenicum. Not anxiety as aconite, if you heard different talk about aconite, but arsenicum has a lot of burning in the skin. There is irritation, fissures in the skin. And the interesting thing with a person that needs arsenicum, although the skin issue is burning, when he takes a shower or washes with hot water, it's not aggravated. That's an indication for arsenicum. We have phosphorus. The person that needs phosphorus is a sweet person that you want him as a friend, you want him as a brother, as a son. You want to be with him. He's a very sweet person, but still he suffers from some depression, some anxiety, some sadness, but he's still happy. You can see that he's happy, that he's okay, but inside him, it has some issues that causing diseases. Now, for phosphorus and the skin, we are expecting to see yellow patches resembling jaundice, for instance, or brown color. That's what we are looking for phosphorus. Lycopodium, it's another plant. It has affection also on the urinary tracts and the hepatic and gastric problems. So the person may see skin issues and eruptions, but they need to be associated also with the liver. Okay, it may be bleeding easily. Now the skin can be very hard and very dry. And the last one, mercurius. So from mercury, this remedy, when I see a person that needs mercury, it's because it's in a state of a lot of destruction on the skin. And the mind, it's a bit more depressed. There is a lot of distractions in the thoughts, but the skin, the appearance of the person is destructive. Things are really, really not nice to see. In psoriasis, for instance, there is a lot of burning in the hands, and this is mercury. To summarize what we were talking, homeopathic medicine treats the person and not only the disease within the person. It's very important to understand emotions, and it's very important to understand the way that the person experiences the disease. It's important to know who was the person before being sick and who is the person that is sick at the moment. Thank you very much. For more information, please contact me at your convenience. I wish you well.